Welcome to the Konsider Show, exclusive interviews with entrepreneurs in cannabis and non-related cannabis industries that explores minds of those that are expressing their realities on common social problems and business opportunities that they have experienced in life, offering solutions to those that tune in to what is being said, that they are helping others guide themselves by sharing. The power is within. So sit back and relax and listen. It is in the process, not the event. Hotep, I am that I am. Some call me Haru, your modern monk, your cannabis fitness strategist, with another exclusive interview with a beautiful sister out in Canada too. So this is actually pretty interesting because this is the first interview we have did internationally. Oh, besides Mexico, but this is another exclusive. And tell them who you are.
What's up, everybody? I'm Angelina Blessed. I run a cannabis edibles company called Blessed Edibles. I am a pro Muay Thai fighter, training for over 13 years in Muay Thai, trained in Thailand. I am the Float Toronto ambassador, so I am a big sensory deprivation recovery athlete who believes in the entire train, treat, repeat philosophy.
So I'm sure when you were seeing some of my questions, because I had just got little light feedback from my brother Avery. He just was like, man, you need to do an interview with her. And I was like, oh, this be cool, but I don't know nothing about her.
Okay.
So we're gonna go deeper within these questions and that is awesome. You're Muay Thai. Practitioner, professional. This is the first actually meeting a female who's actually really serious about Muay Thai, because I haven't really, my experience, especially with me being in, fitness and whatnot, I haven't really had that experience. Every males and throughout because I was a big wrestler myself throughout high school, college. So I do.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get the concept. I get it. So let's go a little deeper. So who or what has influenced your cannabis entrepreneurship journey?
Jeez, it's a big one. It started with Muay Thai because I wasn't really understanding. So I would say 6 years ago I was watching all the champion boys, all the Jamaican champions, and they were all outside smoking cannabis before they were training. It was something I never really understood. And then fast forwarding a little bit further, I was receiving a lot of injuries, a lot of stress, a lot of cortisol level issues, and I started medicating myself, started making cookies for all the Muay Thai boys, and that was going over really well. And I was finding that I was a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more, fluid in my training. So after, fast forward again, after that, there's all sorts of mentors that have pushed me along the way, people that have helped. Etta Luz is a big one. She is out of Seattle. She is one of the number one edibles makers in the world.
Yes.
She's making a lot of her products with hash. And that is just a beautiful body relaxation. We all know what that means. And so she's won the High Times Cannabis Cup. I believe it's 3 years in the running for the edibles.
Wow.
And so anytime I have a question, I can go to her.
Awesome.
I have doctors on hand, cannabis doctors, that anytime I have questions about how to medicate somebody properly, I know exactly how many milligrams of THC somebody with cancer needs. So, there's all sorts of people that have influenced my journey. Anyone from my coaches to the amazing weed people that you meet in this family along the way.
For sure. Thank you for that insight. That was awesome. And I'm sure you use cannabis recreational with your activities, sports. Give us maybe within this question, I wanted to maybe journey more into your Muay Thai aspect of it. What are some of the things you have seen or noticed within your training or within your particular competition I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's some of the things I think we kind of got away from. You tend to read it in books every once in a while, but not as much. You know, the interviews are not as depth. You know, when they're talking to practitioners, Muay Thai practitioners, they're really kind of surface. But now, you being a cannabis user, what is some of the results you have been seeing within your competition, therefore your, you know, your practice, whatever the case may be? What are some of those?
I would say the biggest thing about cannabis for me is that I was just strictly using it for an athletic recovery tool.
Okay.
I was dealing with a lot of cortisol level issues. As I said, I had broken my orbital bone in my last fight, or 2 fights ago. I was dealing with a lot of pain and a lot of adrenal issues. So I found that my whole journey as a martial artist, it's going to be so long-winded, my whole journey as a martial artist has just been such an incredible thing. I'm a bully fighter. Traditionally, like I'm very forward-going, angry, and that didn't work for me because I was sustaining so many injuries. You know, eating punches with my face, and you know, just not being a smart fighter. And as soon as I started using cannabis during training, it took a bit of that edge off. It made me more focused in my own headspace, made my movement more fluid, and helped me to, you know, aid in all the recovery. There's so many uses for it, and everything that we do, either from microdosing somebody in a like you could, you know, what I was reading last night. I'm going to be doing an entire seminar coming up in Montreal this weekend on microdosing.
Okay. Yeah.
So
great.
Experienced users, we usually take 50 to 100 milligrams, where a unexperienced user can have between 1 and 2. So I'm actually going to be making edibles that are 1 to 2 milligrams of THC. So what they're finding is that with those microdoses, you're alleviating anything from mild anxiety, which can help somebody get off of anxiety medications and things like that. Helps with a little bit of depression. Helps with somebody that's just got a little bit of like social anxiety disorders. So the uses of it in every aspect of life, from, you know, training to getting out of bed in the morning. Like, I really do see a massive difference in my life and how it's affected me.
For sure.
I'm a much calmer person. I've gotten off of any anti-anxiety meds, which I had massive issues with after a trauma almost 2 years ago. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a little long-winded, but
No. That's understanding, because that's what we want to. I think that's the purpose. That's because we got this, like I say, these taboos about what happens when you're smoking and this and that. Don't take me wrong. You got to build your tolerance. I've been liking the microdosing. A friend of mine kind of came with me on shrooms. That might be a different subject matter, but that was pretty awesome. And we kind of dialogued a little bit about it and how it really affects you, especially if you just getting into this. That's probably where you want to.
I tried mushrooms 20 years ago, like.
Yes.
And you know, I had crazy experiences and hallucinated and whatever. But I went to Cirque du Soleil with a bunch of my float friends, and it was incredible. So we took I took capsules that were 100 milligrams of psilocybin mushrooms with turmeric and black pepper.
Oh, wow.
And like that microdose, I ended up taking 2, so it's 200 milligrams. Was just enough to make the like, then we went to the circus of all places, right? But like, besides that, just a little bit of awareness, a little bit of clarity, you know, just brightened up the room a little bit, like, and just, you know, like, it wasn't out of control. It was definitely functional and fun and exciting, and like, I felt very different the next day. So definitely, like, still a mind-opening awareness that's happening, and I feel like because of my dosing of cannabis every day, I am more willing to accept things like that. I'm definitely like a more relaxed person, and definitely more open to things that are around me in life.
Yeah, so when you gonna write your first book? If not, already got a book? I mean, because I mean, one of the things I've noticed, I'm a big reader too, but one of the things I just wanted to throw out there, I don't see many biographies or biographies on female athletes. You know, kind of extreme Lance Armstrong type mentality. You know what I'm saying? You don't see enough of that. Maybe I'm not picking the right books or not able to see the advertising on, but
you know what, like, we're coming. The people are coming out of the closet. You know, it's been funny even just over the last little bit of, like, people are definitely feeling more comfortable talking about cannabis and the fact that we are using it.
Big time.
You know, so I've done quite a few panels, and the last panel I did was with an NFL player. You know, I've done panels with Ricky Williams.
Yes,
I've done panels with Ross Repliati, who's a gold medalist Canadian snowboarder, who lost his gold medal testing positive for THC in his system.
Wow.
So he did get his medal back, but, you know, like, it was a whole shit show of he actually got arrested in Japan.
Wow.
And, you know, because he had it in his system. And they were like, he's concealing it or whatever.
Wow.
Anyway, so he did get it back, but and then more and more UFC fighters are finally starting to talk about
Come
it.
out, yes.
You know, which is really great. So, but at the same time, you know, the UFC is becoming more lenient with their regulations as to, like, how much THC can be found in the system.
Yes.
But I think now it's actually only a couple of days that they don't want you, or maybe a week before the fight, that they don't want you to be doing it. So people are lighting up about it slowly, which is really great.
Awesome.
I don't know, I think as we learn more about the plant and what it can do for us for recovery, and what, you know, and especially in the way that it's helped me with concussions and post-traumatic stress. So, yeah, it's... Sorry.
So no, it's all good. It's all good, sister. So what gave you what inspired the name Blessed Edibles? What inspired the name?
So with all of my time that I've spent in Thailand, I go to Thailand every winter and I train there.
Oh wow.
So every time that I go and before I fight, the trainers take you to a monk who tattoos you. It's called a sakyat. So my back is covered in sakyat tattoos.
That's
so
right.
Each one that I'm given, they pick it for me, and it just is for strength or protection.
I got you.
Or just a blessing to keep you safe in the ring before you basically go to war. So,
taking it back to the old tradition.
Hashtagable as it is, like, do I feel blessed? I feel blessed. Like, I really do. It's
awesome.
I have been able to follow my dream, travel, and do a sport that I love, and now as my fighting career slows down, I'm able to help other athletes in their recovery and not to do the same mistakes that I made.
For sure.
So it started out as Blessed Buddha Edibles. It will be becoming Blessed. TM. So
That's on point. Yeah. No doubt. So we go right down to the next one. What has been some of the results of your so what has been some of your results with your client base, far as, you know, how are you able to supply these particular clients? I'm sure you got a club or something. How are you interacting with your...
Mostly doing the Green Market in Toronto, which had ran for a full year. We were doing monthly pop-up shops with some of the other amazing edibles, craft cannabis producers that that are part of my family. So we were doing that once a month. I am able to help people that are emailing me. So sometimes I'm making oils for them. People are donating their cannabis a lot of the time for me to make oils and or edibles into.
So you're doing this yourself then? You're putting all this together yourself? I mean, far as managing the you know, prepping the prep and whatnot. You're doing
it's all me. I do have some
wow.
chefs that are under me that are producing some of the best edibles that you've ever tasted. A lot of them are vegan, gluten-free, and low sugar. Because we all know that adding sugar to the body is only adding more inflammation. So if you're already trying to fight the inflammation that you have from like practicing your martial arts or your sport or life or pain or whatever, you're just able to go around that a lot more. You know, I've been in dispensaries and seen people with Crohn's or IBS be given a milk chocolate bar. Okay, that's filled with sugar and cream.
I agree.
That to somebody with a stomach issue.
I agree.
Again, because of the doctors that I have with me, I'm able to really help people. I have a 7-year-old client who has Addison's disease. She's in a wheelchair. I've gotten her off of all of the opiates and painkillers. The only thing that she's left on is the steroids, which she needs, you know. So she is a calmer, happier person who's just gotten a little bit of her life back. I had a woman fall into my arms at the last green market because her hand was shaking so terribly to get money out of her wallet to get a chocolate bar from me. And I'm just like, can I ask what you've been diagnosed with? And she says, I have fibromyalgia.
Ooh.
Well, studies have shown that people with fibromyalgia who are going into the sensory deprivation tanks and taking in all the goods of the magnesium and the healing waters, they're seeing amazing results. So I'm offering to float her for free. So I'd like her to come in. I said, come. I will get you some CBD caps to help with and making sure that she's getting all the CBN and CBG, that's the antispasmodics, and hopefully just getting some calmness into her. So soaking in an Epsom salt tub, it's not just a bath, it's 1,000 pounds of Epsom salt in 11 inches of water, so you're completely weightlessness. Now the temperature of the water is heated to the same temperature as your body, so once you are still enough and you can let go enough, it's like a free fall through space, where you actually be able to relax all the muscles of your body and infuse yourself. You can actually hear like lactic acid popping and just the body really releasing all of the toxins.
Awesome. Yeah. What has been some of your biggest mistakes you've been making with Blessed Edibles or your entrepreneur career? I know it can be many. I mean, but what has been standing out?
Doing it by myself has been really difficult. So there's been a lot of things that I haven't been able to do because I can't do everything myself. I've got an amazing team with me now of people that are just so supportive. Some of the funny mistakes have just been like the first 100 batch of cookies that I made, and I had to try them, and some days you lose a day, and then some days you don't lose a day. So there's been some pretty funny days. Mistakes? I don't know. It's everything is trial and error, and it's just like fighting. There are no wins or losses. You only get lessons. So
for sure,
I have had the craziest 2 years of my life with a breakup and injury and a severe concussion in January.
Oh wow!
So I've been through the ringer, but I do have the best people. The best people have remained around me, and I've got Float Toronto, I've got the whole Bold crew, I've got like everyone in Toronto that is just so amazing.
The spirit is different out there too. I noticed. Don't take me wrong, it's been years since I've been out in Canada. But I noticed the mentality was totally different. The morale is totally different from the States.
It's kind of weird. I'm like, why are the guys in Colorado calling me? I thought you guys were the Mecca, so like little Toronto girl, I don't really understand what's going on. But,
and you got a great point. That's what brought me out here anyway, the cannabis and the health, fitness element. Because I'm journeying from Washington State myself, Seattle area. So I'm like kind of checking out some things. I see they got things going on here within the industry, but at the same time, it's a few more things they got to work on. We know California was the starter, the breader, the butter, but that's another story. But my point is just, what have you learned far as going through these, this concussion, the 2-week breakup, and we know there are lessons, but what has been your outcome of these particular lessons of moving on per se?
It's about the strength of the people that are around you. I think what I've learned about this is that it's time to depend on the people that really do care about me and the people that really do have my back. So this cannabis community has really become my family. Like Fritz's cannabis company, that's absolute family. So even though we do very different things, he does all the gummies, beautiful gummies and lollipops and cereal bars. But he's killing it, and he's nothing but good vibes. I've got Hamilton, Vape Lounge, Greenbelt Healing, High Society Supper Club that are doing crazy infused dinners downtown Toronto. A lot of them very like West Indian style. They're doing like infused jerk chickens and
that's crazy.
Everybody's killing it over here. Ross is huge in Toronto right now. But like July 1st, we legalized. So
that's right.
18 plus will be able to come to Canada and just buy cannabis. So
that's on point.
at this point, we're really hoping that it's not going to. We're hoping that the legalization is going to be available to craft cannabis makers, and not just go into the hands of corporate. But every province is going to decide differently on what they want to do.
Sure.
So,
Yeah,
I'll be wherever the most craft cannabis is going to be, because I really want to believe in the quality in the product.
Sure.
And I do believe that like microdosing for the world will be a better future for everyone.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
That brings me to, and you kind of talked about some of the resources, some of the mentors, the magazines, the blogs, where are you getting your information from? I know you just mentioned a few doctors you got connections to, and that's what's cool about Canada. I mean, they always been pretty straightforward with it anyway. I remember even the Blunt brothers back in Vancouver, back in the day before it burnt down, yada yada yada. Not long story, but it was a real relaxed, chill place, and I wasn't even smoking back then. But I mean, I get the culture. You see what I'm saying? The culture was okay, chill, relax. It was no drama. You know what I'm saying? And you could go in there, get what you want to get, juice, whatever the case may be. So, what are some of the resources? What are some of the you just mentioned a few of them, but what are some of the blogs you follow? What are some of the magazines?
I wouldn't say that I follow too many blogs. Like I read everything on Herb, I read everything on High Times, I read everything that way. But honestly, it's the people that are around me that I'm getting my information from. Like when I started doing this, I was honestly, you start off with the crappy wheat butter, but now I've moved on to a way different, like it's very scientific and it's right down to the decimal point. But the people around me, like my best girlfriends, Irie and Amy, they're both high up in the cannabis community. Irie is with Emblem and she works with Tokyo Smoke, which are two of the big guys. And these girls have the total canna babes, and they have such incredible cannabis knowledge. And I really feel, I don't want to do the whole hurrah for girls thing, because that's kind of not my style, but females are killing it in Toronto right now with the strength that they're bringing to the community, and I really do believe it's because of the female plant. Like this is something that we're supposed to be around.
Coming together, yes.
Going back into my whole bully mentality of being a fighter, finding and loving this cannabis plant has really brought a lot of feminine energy back into me. So I can still be super strong, but finding that feminine energy and being around cannabis so much, it has softened me a little bit.
Yeah, and that kind of talk about a little bit. So what has been, have you seen, you actually witnessing the transformation that's been going on there in Canada as far as the cannabis industry and what it's been doing since they're planning on legalizing it. You said what, July?
July 1st,
next year, 2018. Okay, now what have you noticed significantly, the changes in the laws or the changes in the statutes that kind of, have you been seeing anything that kind of been standing out to you per se?
It's a big difference what's going on in the East Coast as to what's going on the West Coast. East Coast is kind of gangster over here. I don't kind of like the vibe of it. We've got some great people with some great flowers, and then we've got cops smashing down doors. Are the dispensaries illegal? They are. But you go to Vancouver, and I spent a lot of time in Kelowna, where I stand in dispensaries where it's just like we have bylaw officers coming in and just issuing tickets. We don't need to smash people's face in or arrest 21-year-old girls who are just, trying to make a living over the summer. It doesn't have to be gangster. Weed is going to be everywhere. There's way bigger problems. It's not actually, I understand the difference between, the crime world and whatever, but, I just think there's bigger things to focus on, and that we could be helping a lot more people with it. Taking some of those resources and, putting it into research and development and really figuring out how this plant can help.
And that's key. I think that's key right there, the research and development. Because I'm usually writing articles about, increasing your metabolism, because I'm really into that, how cannabis actually develops the mind, the body, the soul. But one of the things I think we got to be cautious with, and this is one of the things I've been noticing about these dispensaries, they're not really informing or educating their clients or customers, and then they're wondering why the loyalty is not there. One of the things I noticed, we're working with people people who's off. We're working with people who's in the farm. They use pharmaceuticals. First and foremost, that's the question we gotta talk about. Then we gotta approach it where, how do we administrate or educate this particular person or individual to understand that this is not going to work like your pharmaceuticals. This is a totally different approach. You see what I'm saying? You know how certain people, they expect certain things to happen. This is what I'm going to do. But then we got to realize that all these withdrawals and these symptoms that these particular pharmaceuticals are given, they're going to respond a little different to what's going on, especially with the cannabis aspect. So that's bringing me to the next question. What do you think is the most important quality or attribute that has contributed to your success? Something you identified, or something that others around you kind of identified and said, this is your strength, this is something I really think you'll, be very successful at.
I think what is kind of setting me apart is the fact that I don't look like a everyday stoner. That with being an athlete and being surrounded by really great athletes, I'm showing the world that cannabis and athleticism go hand in hand. Cannabis and recovery go hand in hand.
Yes.
And that there are things, there is a good edibles experience that can happen. Everyone has a background story, right? Like everybody has a background story. So I want to show people how you can use cannabis, and I want to get away from the word medicinal. This is something that Irie has shown me. We were so stuck in that medicinal versus recreational conversation that we forgot about therapeutic. So I think therapeutic, because then it's good for everybody. Everyone can find a use for it. It doesn't have to be medicine. The guy that I'm dating, he doesn't use it medicinally. When he hurts himself, he gets all the bombs and everything, but he likes to smoke weed and get high. I like to smoke sativa and go for 10-kilometer runs in the morning. I like to smoke sativa and shadow box. And then I like to smoke indica to put myself down at night and shut my cortisol levels down and, get a full night's rest.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's what's so unique about athletes like yourself, because you pinpoint in certain things, and then at the same time, you're on a pro level. That's what I don't get with people. I mean, that's what I don't understand, how people are not really grasping to the athlete, like the Michael Phelps and the...
Muay Thai doesn't test, right? So we're not getting tested for cannabinoids. If I was in UFC, I would be tested. If I was fighting in probably another organization or a boxer, I would be getting tested. But the only reason I can talk about it is really because my fight career is pretty much over, and the fact that I can show that, I have broken the stigma of being a lazy stoner.
No doubt. No doubt.
I still sit on the couch and eat popcorn. It's just like,
I'm with you.
Air-blown popcorn with coconut oil on it. It's just like,
No, I am with you on that. I agree with that 1,000,000%. What is?
I'm human. I still get the munchies.
I feel you. I feel you. What are some of your go-to tools that keep you so organized? I know you just said you was one of the mistakes was doing everything yourself.
Right.
Now, what is some of the tools? Because there's certain things I use myself that kind of keeps me organized or keep me grounded, or at least I can come back to and knowing everything is going to fit right back in place for me. What is that go-to tool for you?
I have a notebook. My notebook is kind of my everything. So, my phone is always in my hand. It's a really gross thing. I hate my phone. I'm constantly on it. I have a concussion. I'm on it until I get nauseous. It's a terrible thing. So I prefer to write. I find that my memory is better about it, and it helps me retain more information that way. And maybe it's not the smartest thing to do, but I love paper and pencils.
No, it's old school. I agree with that. That's old school. Plus, it it's manifested. You know, I put it in the, it's easy to put it in the computer, but it tend to get lost when you put it on the computer or put it on your phone, because you got so much other activities that kind of deter you. So the notebook is definitely one of the go-tos. I can agree with that. Okay, how effective, this is actually pretty interesting. How effective have you been doing? You were saying you have been pretty accurate since you've been coming into the cannabis industry, coming into that realm, because you was angry and this and that. How are you far as developing your goals? Maybe like, let me read the question. I'm trying to go around it. How effective are you with manifesting your goals and outcomes? Are there any tips you can share with our readers or listeners?
I would say once a week I probably have a massive breakdown. I'm not doing it, it's too hard, I can't do this. And then, you know what, like I just keep going. And, the people around me really believe in what I'm doing. So when I start to not believe in myself, so I really think that surrounding yourself with people that see your strengths is really important. I couldn't imagine going back to what I used to do. Knowing the level of, I'm a hairstylist, and I did that for 20 years, and you make people feel good, in an aesthetic sort of pleasing way. You're kind of their shrink, but when you can help somebody sleep, or help somebody eat, or help somebody's family member that has cancer, or a dog that has PTSD, making somebody pretty with highlights just doesn't really cut it anymore.
No doubt.
No doubt. This woman with fibromyalgia that I was talking about in the market, when I told her that I would float her for free and we could do as much research on using CBD or CBG with her, she cried and she hugged me. She doesn't know me, I don't know her, but we just have to be in a different part of society now. We have to help each other.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. So if anybody wanted to get in contact with you or, utilize your services and whatnot, where do they go? Where's the place to be?
You can email me at blessededibles, one word, at gmail.com. You can hit me up on Instagram at blessededibles or blessededibles.com.
Okay, yeah. So this is an opportunity for you to, get some of your promotion out, advertising. But is there anything, like I said, that I haven't asked you would like to cover here today? Before we end this.
No, I just believe in the plan, and I believe in the goodness of the people that are surrounding themselves with it. So I think that if we all continue to do our research and to study this plant, we do have the ability to fix a lot of the issues that are in this world, either from paper to trees to environment,
big time,
to pain, to sleeping, to calmness, to I think that people aren't aware of the change that's really about to happen in Canada and across the world. And I'm really honored to be a part of the beginning stages of it.
Yeah, and I appreciate you. I would like to, like I said, I'm going to throw this out there again. I would like to see a book or something, your story manifested, because you are influence, you are inspirational, you are motivational. And a lot of us, even like me, I'm always searching for uniqueness within certain athletes, uniqueness, by living your lifestyle. Like, I'm sure you're a meditator. I'm sure you, you just mentioned, the Buddhism, maybe, I'm just throwing that, I know you mentioned, so it's just certain.
I would say, in theory, I'm absolutely Buddhist. And not to choose a religion or for any reason like that, but only because of the respect that they show to family and the respect that they show to people, and that I think kindness and love is really, the one love philosophy, and that's important.
What attracted you to Muay Thai? And don't take me wrong, I'm going to be dating myself here a little bit, but what comes to mind from Muay Thai was a kickboxer. Was my introduction, and we talking, I was a young man then, but my point is, what got you into Muay Thai? Because not a lot of females up here saying.
I was never athletic. I wasn't an athletic person at all. And,
Okay.
I was a raver, God help me. And so that whole thing was just, after I stopped doing that, 17 years ago, I don't know. So, after I stopped raving, I just had all this energy and I needed to do something. So I just started running. And after the running started and like the coughing up of 10 years of smoking cigarettes, I ended up going to a gym. I'm like, I need a personal trainer. I have no idea what I'm doing. And his background just happened to be Muay Thai.
Oh, wow.
I actually saw him for the first time in like 15 years, working in front of Eden Dispensary as security guard. And he had recognized me from the Vice documentary that I'm in that's called Candyland.
Okay.
He's like, I trained her. And so it was pretty cool to kind of do the whole reunion thing. But then I went through a big breakup and I just like said, screw it, and got into a plane and flew to Thailand, and not speaking the language or not knowing anything. I ended up at a camp and then started the whole kind of whirlwind from there.
Wow. So the sister, another attribute, great attribute, just get out there and make it happen. I mean, you know, just the drive, the determination. There's so many aspects, and that is, you know, it is cool to just, you know, the manifestation of even the relationship, how we got in contact with each other. Shout out to Avery for that, big time.
Brother Avery.
Connecting that, and I appreciate you, and the Konsider group appreciate you, and definitely we should. This is actually going to be very, especially being out in Canada too, because we haven't really. Even with the particular events that go on, you really don't hear too much about Canada. You know, the Canadians doing what they're doing. Don't take me wrong, the news is there, this and that, and informed, but people are kind of worrying about what's going on in their state, how they're moving, you know what I'm saying? That's what I think where the problem is, because we're not showing each other kind of the guidance. Okay, Alaska just went legalized. You see what I'm saying? And was like, we're reinventing the wheel, seem like every legalization, and I'm thinking
everything is going to be very new, absolutely.
You know, so it's crazy. It's really a crazy motto. But I appreciate your time. I thank you, and I will.
Some of my people.
What's good?
That's okay, I'm at 4% anyway.
So we all good. I appreciate your time, and I thank you for this time. And I'll be in touch with you. So
I'd love to speak any other time.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you. You have a great day. Thank you again.
Bless, my friend. Good luck.
Yes, you do too.
Okay. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
So as we conclude, Konsider wants to thank you for your time and support. For more information, tune in to www.konsidergroup.com, Facebook, Konsider Group, Twitter, Konsider Group, Instagram, Konsider Group. It's all how we connect. Networking within a network.